What exclusive new footage might we see from Hogwarts Legacy at Gamescom? I've got 5 things that we should be looking out for. Welcome back to WizardPhD, it's Professor Lynette. Today we are getting into Gamescom and what we might see from Hogwarts Legacy. Gamescom is a trade fair for video games held annually in Cologne, Germany. This year expects 1,100 exhibitors from 53 countries, and there are opportunities to participate through live and on-site events from August 23rd to 28th. The event kicks off with Opening Night Live, which is coming Tuesday, August 23rd at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Geoff Keighley from Summer Game Fest and the Game Awards will host a 2-hour live showcase featuring what's next in video games. So far, we know that we'll see content from Hogwarts Legacy, which is why all of us are here, but also we'll see some from Sonic Frontiers, we'll see the Callisto Protocol, we'll see High on Life, Return to Monkey Island, and many more to be announced. So what might we see in the Hogwarts Legacy world premiere? Well, there are tons and tons of options for what we want to see, but in this video, I'm going to focus on information that we've already been told from community manager Chandler Wood in previous posts. So I'll be looking at the FAQs from the Hogwarts Legacy official website, and I'll also be looking at the March 17th PlayStation blog, which happened right after the State of Play. First up, the Room of Requirement. Now, in the FAQs on the official website, we have, what is the Room of Requirement? And the answer is, it's an important secret of Hogwarts that helps players customize and grow their abilities. We'll have more details to share at a later time. Additionally, Chandler noted in a March 17th PlayStation blog post, our Hogwarts Legacy State of Play presentation showed quite a few other things. The Room of Requirement, taming magical beasts, customizable gear that you can loot and earn throughout the world, and a whole lot more. We'll be diving into many of these topics in detail before we launch. Of course, we got a bit of shots of the Room of Requirement in the State of Play, but I have lots of questions. Like, it seems we first walk in there with Deke and this other person who I'm calling Professor Weasley, where stuff clears out. Based on the voiceover, this is a place for us to catch up to our peers, so I wonder how long we can just chill in the room and brew, harvest, and upgrade our gear. There are cooldowns though, so probably not that long. We do see our character walking by brewing potions and harvesting magical plants, but we haven't yet seen gear upgrades. There's also this moment where all of a sudden this greenhouse looking thing called a vivarium expands out and Deke is just like, let's walk into it? Sure. But this brings me to the next thing that I think we might see. Taming magical beasts. Vivariums are places where we can care for magical beasts, and I know that care and nurture don't have the same connotation as tame, but I'm grouping it in here anyway. Perhaps we'll see more magical creatures at Gamescom that we can look forward to interacting with. So all you magizoologists out there can help me figure out all the details and facts about magical beasts and creatures, because although I love little tiny babies, I do not know anything about caring for them. As far as taming magical beasts, I definitely still want to be best friends with this Hebridean Black that yells at us. I feel like it must be possible, right? I am curious though, after Hogwarts Legacy tweeted earlier today this shot of what appears to be the Forbidden Forest. So are there going to be acromantulas that we see? There was a shot of us casting a spell on an acromantula in the first reveal trailer, so maybe they are hinting that we'll see some combat with acromantulas or some sort of combat in the Forbidden Forest with magical creatures. I don't know. But next up, we have customizable gear. And the full quote is, customizable gear that you can loot and earn throughout the world. This is personally what I am most curious about. I would love to see a few options for what the customization does look like. So for example, when we do fight the acromantulas in the Forbidden Forest, which is definitely going to happen, what do they drop and how might I use that to enhance my gear? Do I just sell acromantula venom to a vendor at a high price, or does it have a utility such as a magical enhancement or effect that I can apply? And do we get hide and fur and get to use that as part of our upgrades? Maybe we can use the dragon hide to have dragon hide armor. No, we need to be friends with the dragon. Basically, I'm quite interested in this aspect of the game and would love to see more, but let's move on. What about the common rooms? And I know we've seen some shots from all 4 house common rooms, but there could be more, because according to the same PlayStation blog post, Chandler wrote, "Depending on which Hogwarts house you're in, you'll get to see each common room's distinct architecture, decor, and entrances. My fellow Slytherins will be particularly fond of our common room entrance vanishing into a wall behind a slithering body of an enormous stone serpent. We're also excited to show you our takes on the not often seen Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff common rooms. Ravenclaws rest high in a tower while Hufflepuffs reside in a cozy basement. Expect more in-depth looks at the common rooms later this year." It is later this year, so maybe? Are we getting to look at how we get into each of the common rooms, like that Hufflepuff knock we saw in the Autodesk presentation? Perhaps we'll see the rooms from different angles, or maybe even get actual dialogue audio from discussions with our housemates. Maybe we'll even see better views of those portraits hanging around everywhere. Speaking of portraits, you know how much I love talking to NPCs, getting information from them, sassing them up, completing side quests and all of that. So this leads me to my final thing, NPC Reveals. We already got some great new details from the Autodesk presentation. Our charms professor is Abraham Ronan. There's a Weasley who might be the professor that puts the sorting hat on our head. But will we learn more names or see any more of that cast of 50? Chandler wrote in the PlayStation blog that Fig is just one of the many characters who will play a part in your journey. Whether it's fellow students becoming companions, professors teaching you new spells, or even some assistance from those who reside outside the Hogwarts walls, there's no shortage of friendly faces to provide a helping hand or a welcome distraction. You may even come across some familiar names like a Weasley or two. 2 Weasleys? I mean, I don't know why I'm so shocked there were like a million Weasleys when Harry went to Hogwarts, but that leads me to think about some interesting dynamics in terms of wizarding families. So if we already have a Professor Weasley in the game, or it seems that it's a Professor Weasley, then there might also be students who are in the Weasley family, and we could see that interaction happen or learn more about the Weasley family. We also don't really know much about those outside of Hogwarts Castle, whether that's from Hogsmeade or beyond in the smaller settlements. Getting too much into the expansive world in Hogwarts Legacy might not be what's in store for us for Gamescom, but we might learn more about people who wander the Hogwarts castle alongside us, like more professors, or, you know, maybe my Ravenclaw bestie. Where are you at? What else can we expect from Hogwarts Legacy at Gamescom? I do not think that it's going to be a long trailer. It's likely going to be pretty short, at least compared to the entire state of play, which was like 14 minutes of new gameplay. I don't think we're getting that. And this is just based on previous Gamescom events in the opening night live, where it's a bunch of different games. It's not just Hogwarts Legacy, but a lot of games are going to have the spotlight in that 2-hour window. So we'll probably see a short, maybe 2-minute trailer, if possible, of new content to see, and there may be an interview in terms of seeing more about the development side or what the devs have to say to promote Hogwarts Legacy. My good friend Brita, aka the Pink Ravenclaw, interviewed for the community manager position for Hogwarts Legacy, so there are certain things that she knows from the interview process that she can't say under NDA until it is publicly revealed. And so one of the things that she shared recently was that she knew about Gamescom being a potential event because that was part of the interview process. So it's possible that the community manager is at Gamescom or will be at Gamescom for the event, be on stage, talk with Geoff Keighley, tell us some more information, but I'm not sure that this is the case. And the reason I say that is because we do have the delay in the launch, so I don't know if that changed anything with their plans for being on stage and promoting the game, because it's not to that point yet, but they could still do some sort of update where they're sharing some information. I have no idea if Chandler is in Germany or will be in Germany, so Chandler, if you're here, let us know if you're going to be there. I guess no, it'll be a surprise. It'll be great. Don't tell us. Never mind. Change my mind. Don't tell us. We'll be a surprise. We'll scream on stream and it'll be great. I also don't think this is going to be everything that they've been preparing trying to show us in terms of their marketing. So even though these bigger events that are the industry-based ones, there's a lot of hype around it, it's very exciting, and there's a lot of games featured, I am personally still keeping my eye on the official WB Games Avalanche and Hogwarts Legacy social media accounts. Just for like little tidbits we have. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, I was hanging out in Retro Stream the other day, and the official Hogwarts Legacy YouTube account was in there and was just like, hey guys, hello. So one of the people in the chat asked about whether we were getting a regular Thursday post, considering we have Gamescom. There's a lot going on. We're probably going to get some sort of big, news or some sort of information showcase at this event. And whoever was running the account and replying to us told us, yes, there will be a Thursday post. So keep your eye out on Thursdays, because that's when we'll get a new Hogwarts Legacy post every week, maybe, probably. Which also, any critters out there, this is a second reason for is it Thursday yet? Anyway, all of that to say, I'm excited, you're excited, we're all excited, so let's hang out together and watch this stream live. On Tuesday, August 23rd, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, I will be co-streaming the event right here on YouTube, so you can come back here and check me out. You can hang out with other people who are definitely geeking out about Hogwarts Legacy, and I know that all the other Hogwarts Legacy content creators are going to be co-streaming as well, so I'll try to put together a multi-link, so it only has up to 4 of us on a screen, but that way you can have like 4 of us here on one panel. Maybe I can set up a second one and get 4 more content creators on another one. So I'll try to set up those links so that you can have a ridiculous view of all of our reactions at the same time. Let me know in the comments down below which of these 5 things you think is most likely to be in the Gamescom opening night live for Hogwarts Legacy. We have the Room of Requirement, we have Taming Magical Beast, we have customizable gear, we have more for the common rooms, and we have NPC Reveals. I'd also love to know what you would personally like to see more of from Hogwarts Legacy before launch. Now, I know that this is kind of tricky because I don't want to see everything. I still want the magic and the mystery of the first-time experience and actually being immersed. But if there's anything in particular that you're really, really wanting to see before the game comes out, let me know that in the comments as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, wands ready.